Hey everyone, this is Borvak. I'm going to try something that's a little outside of my wheelhouse tonight. I don't know if this is going to end up being a good video or a bad video, but we're gonna try it anyway. So I started uploading comics reviews to my channel, just those two. I don't know if that's even considered a start, but my purpose was really to defend or to give my thoughts, defend and give my thoughts, maybe. In regards to the new Sonic IDW comic, as a Sonic fan, as a former Archie Sonic fan, still an Archie Sonic fan, but unfortunately that was canceled. Got to move on to IDW, but it wasn't my intention to start doing comic reviews, and maybe this won't be a thing. Maybe this is we're trying it out to see how it is. This is outside of my wheelhouse. I'm not a Green Lantern guy now. I am now. I am a Green Lantern guy now. Thanks to Ethan Van Sciver, thanks to Green Lantern the Animated Series, thanks to Ethan Van Sciver getting me into the Green Lantern Rebirth, and the recently he told us all on Twitter we need to buy this. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, Volume 4. I read that and enjoyed it. It's a big read. I need to go back and get volumes 1, 2, and 3 because I don't know what happened up until this volume in the current run of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. But I want to go back and get it. They're just I don't remember, but at least the price tag on this guy, they're $20 a pop, and a poor little guy like me, you got to justify that $20. And sometimes you gotta buy other stuff. You gotta justify it. You gotta make sure you're ready to spend that money. $20 is a commitment. This was worth it. I do need to go back and get the others. It's just a matter of when and where it will fit into the budget. But that being said, I love the Green Lantern the Animated Series. I love Hal Jordan. I'm not as knowledgeable as of a fan as a lot of people out there. And again, I started uploading videos specifically for the Sonic thing, but we got the ball rolling. Let's review a few others, see if this is a thing or if it's not a thing. See if those reviews are a one-off. See if this sticks. See if there's anything of value in me covering this other stuff. But while I was out buying the Sonic comics, again, Ethan Van Sciver already got me into this. I was buying them digital. Hey, why not switch all my digitals over to floppies anyway? And now that I got floppies, why not throw up a couple of reviews, see how things go. Unfortunately, a little busy today. It's after 9, so it's dark out. Not the best lighting, not the best audio quality. Last video, I had my headphones on. I got the Yourbuds, Yurbuds. They don't pay me any money. Go get their earbuds. They're really good. They've got the button and the microphone built into the cord. So you can pause, you can hang up your calls, you can speak into it. That's what I was using last time for my video. This time I'm doing it without cord. I came off, I mean, I am a nasal nerd. I practically talk like this. I build computers and I reset people's passwords. It comes with the territory. I'm a little nasal, but I came off a little more nasal. I didn't like the quality of my voice in those last two videos. So we're going to try this. We're going to try a little more acoustic, bouncing off the walls in the darkness audio as I ramble and refuse to even start the review of this. But we'll jump right in. Issue number 42, that's a good number. So herein you will find the answers to life, the universe, and everything. If what's his name has anything to say about it? Not Isaac Asimov, the other guy. You guys know the guy, Douglas Adams. So he would like this. I'm noticing a lot of these books. I'm sure this is a common thing that I just don't notice. Great art, by the way. I don't know who did the cover. I don't think this is Ethan Van Sciver. Cover. Does it say who did the cover? It doesn't matter. We'll find out as we get into it. But a lot of these comics, I noticed that it's Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. Number 42, the number's really small, and they do this thing where they have the title of the current arc, and they tell you what part of the arc it is. I picked up another couple books, Teen Titans. They don't do the part, but it ain't easy being green. And also Batman Beyond, The Long Payback. Is that what it is? Payback? Okay. So that's a cool thing, especially if you do the part. Someone in a comic book sees this and they say, jumping on point. So again, my jumping on point for this book was Volume 4 from Ethan Van Sciver. Well, him getting me into it. I think this is mostly his art too. I don't remember. Have to go back and look at that again soon. I think he said that was the main story. I think he said was mostly his art in here. So someone correct me. Anyway, jumping right in, Dark Star Reborn. I don't know anything about the Dark Stars. Someone who is more of a Green Lantern DC fan, let me know. We'll jump right in. So we've got the thing, the controllers were introduced. I did, after I picked this up again, it was a good hook. Ethan got me hooked. He got me in book 4. I still want to go back to 1, 2, and 3. But I also bought every issue after that leading up to this. So I've been reading digitally up to this point. So I'm falling right in with this one. I don't necessarily remember everything, but the Dark Stars, they're talking about this is where the controllers live, and they are trying to bringing back an army to rule the world, because that's what comic book villains do. Now, these controllers, again, I don't know anything about them outside of the current run. What I read since Volume 4 of Green Lantern is silly light reflection. They descend from the same race as the little blue guys, the little blue imps, whatever they are, the Guardians. The Guardians, right? See, it's been too long. But these guys come from the same race, and he's not wearing that helmet. That's a reflection. Great art, of course, Ethan Van Sciver. They come from the same race, but they don't like the Guardians. They want to rule with force, and the Guardians want to rule with justice and law and all that stuff. And the Guardians can get kind of messed up. But these guys, Guardians have nothing on these guys. And in a previous arc, these guys actually they caught some of the Guardians and they killed them. I think it was 1 or 2 of them, and they killed them, and they took their DNA and they turned them into them. Apparently these guys can't procreate. I don't know if there was any woman controllers. There are woman Guardians. I don't know if there are woman controllers. Neither of them seem to procreate. They might have lost that ability genetically. I'm not sure what the story is on that. Again, somebody fill me in. But the way they procreated is by capturing the Guardians and turning them into them. So I hope that's not permanent. It's kind of sad. I'd like to think there's some comic booky way you can bring those Guardians back, turn them back into Guardians. I don't know if that's possible. The death, comic book's death is never permanent. But, it's kind of sad. I want to see those Guardians back. I don't even remember their names, but it's sad. So they're bringing back the Darth Stars. They're more lethal. They're better than they were before, apparently. And these guys want to use them to take over the world again. Here you have the Green Lanterns. It's explaining some stuff. They're on what is that? Mogo, Sector 0, Mogo, right? That's where the Green Lanterns are stationed now. I don't know what happened to Oa. Maybe I need to read volumes 1, 2, and 3 for that. I miss Oa, but Mogo, he's a cool guy from what I understand. Sentient planet. This art is really good. Again, Ethan Van Sciver. I can hardly draw a stick figure. Far be it from me to criticize an artiste. They've got the glowing around them. I like that aura that the Green Lantern rings give them. A lot of the reflective nature of the lantern itself. This kind of confused me. My eyes just automatically do this. I mean, I'm reading it like this, but my eyes do this, and then I want to read it left to right still. But no, you gotta read like this. And they're basically just saying, the last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. Is basically what they're saying. Everything they increased. They increased core presence. They increased the cops on the street and got more peace out of it. Imagine that. Imagine sending police officers to crime-filled areas and that actually helping. Some people don't think that's how it works, but for the Green Lanterns, that's apparently how it's been working. They've got some peace, and that's good. They've been having some trouble with the Yellow Lanterns recently, and some other stuff, so it's good to have some peace. But in comic books, peace is usually just the setup for something else. So this guy, this is Tomar 2. Tomar 2. In Volume 4, I'm going to pull this out again. He got into some trouble because he actually broke up this buddy cop relationship between the Sinestro Corps and the Green Lanterns because he killed a Sinestro Corps member. It was an evil Sinestro Corps member, but he was supposed to arrest him and he didn't. He murdered him. Now the guy was threatening to kill children. Not he didn't have any children in captivity, but he was saying, "Hey, look, if you let me go, I like killing children. That's what I'm going to keep doing." And Tomar 2 said, "You're not going to do that. I am going to fry you like a chicken, like a fish, like a thing that you fry." And he became a murderer, and he broke up. That angered, for some reason, the Sinestro Corps. They didn't like, even though this guy was evil that he killed, and they were on the lawful side, at least at the time, a lot of them still didn't like it. There was some tension because of that. So he is responsible not only for murder, but for breaking up the peace, and whatever lives and whatever badness came as a cost, as a part of that, as a part of ripping, basically turning the Sinestro Corps evil again. They made the choice, but he's the catalyst for it, and it should be a heavy burden. But he was replaced. He had to give up his Green Lantern ring. He gave himself up. He admitted to his crime. He had to, but he did so willingly nonetheless. And this little girl. She's 10 years old in whatever their species, whatever their planet years are. They make it sound like that correlates to human years, so I'll take it at that. So does it say what her name is? Every morning. I don't remember her name. Tomar 2. He's Tomar 2. So they're having a conversation. She's taking his place. The ring went from him because he stopped being a Green Lantern because they had to put him in prison, which is the person he killed would have gone to prison. He murdered instead of taking the guy to prison according to the law, and now he himself is in a cell. So there's unfortunately almost a little bit of justice there. But Tomar 2, the ring went to Tomar 2. It chose her to become a Green Lantern in his place. And she's having a conversation with him. She's saying, "How could you do that?" She's been coming to see him every day, apparently. And she's saying, "How could you murder someone? That's not possible. You're one of the good guys. You're a hero. Heroes don't do bad things." And he says, "No, heroes are just like anyone else. Heroes were not special. Putting on the uniform doesn't make us special." And I think that's right. I don't know what Ethan Van Sciver thinks about that. I don't think putting on a suit makes you special. I think, how do I want to put this? Putting on the suit doesn't make you special. You put on the suit because you're special. But you can still make bad choices. And he looks like he regrets it, but we're going to find out that he doesn't. I like her eyes. Their eyes are not, we don't see his eyes. We see them later, but they're black. They're just black. But when she uses her powers, you can tell she's using her powers because she's wearing the suit. That all comes from the Green Lantern ring that she's wearing that used to be his. Any Green Lantern, their suit, they're all specific. That's a cool to have a kind of almost a military police corps where you get to have a customized suit to fit your personality and fit yourself. But it's the rings that give them their suits, and it turns her eyes green. You guys all watching this, I'm sure you know all this stuff better than I am. I just like to ramble again. Sorry for the darkness and the deep shadow. This isn't going to be the best video quality, but I'm breaking immersion. But he comes down and he says, it's enough talking to him for now. He's right. We're not better than other people. We make our own decisions. And he said something really good here. He said that's something that took him a long time to learn. that we can learn from our mistakes, is what Hal says. Which I don't know what that's in reference to, but that's a mature thing to say. I like that. It does take us a while sometimes to learn that we can, in fact, learn from our mistakes. And it's a matter of learning how to learn from mistakes, a matter of learning what mistakes to learn from, and what to learn from the mistakes. There's a lot of learning to do, and you can't do anything in life without making mistakes. Mistakes are the building blocks of success because the mistakes are what teach you what not to do. And you can learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn from principles. You can learn from other things. But you don't want to make as moral mistakes than you have to. You're going to, because none of us is perfect. But you want to make good choices, and even the unsinful mistakes, so to speak, you're still going to make mistakes, even if you're not doing anything morally wrong. Like Tomar 2 did. He did something morally wrong, at least lawfully wrong. And this is where we find out the sad part. Hal is talking to this guy. He's Tomar 2. This is my ignorance again. Oh, he's Tomar 2. I don't know what she is. That's right. I don't know if it says here. I can't find it. He's Tomar 2, but this is where he tells Hal, he says, I'm sorry for letting you down. I'm sorry for sullying my family's name, but I'm not sorry for murdering that guy because he murdered other people. And if I didn't murder him, he would have potentially, we don't know, he might have been stuck in a cell the rest of his life. But this is DC Comics. I mean, are you kidding me? He would likely have murdered more people. My murder stopped him from murdering. And Hal doesn't know what to say about that. This is not the friend that he knew. Was not someone who would say this. And I'm kind of left thinking the same thing. This is all set up for something that's going to happen later on in the issue, and I'll accept it, but it feels a little bit forced just because I didn't see any hint of this. Now, he committed the deed, and that in itself is maybe enough hint. If you are the type of person who would commit the deed, I don't want to say that. We all make mistakes. I don't know if there are types of people. I don't want to think that murderers are different than the rest of us. I think that puts myself in too high above them. It's like I could never do something like that. The truth is I could. And that's the scary part. And that's why you have to choose not to. You don't go down that dark road because you're not special. You're not different. You're human. And that's why you choose to be better. And that's how you become a hero. You become better because you choose to be better. And then that's why you put on the uniform. That's why you protect people. But this guy, Tomar 2, is not someone that Hal Jordan would have thought. Would not. He thought he was sorry for what he did. But he's not. And again, this almost feels a little bit forced because we're going to find some stuff later on in the issue that requires him to be unrepentant. And again, it feels a little forced. Maybe I would have liked to have seen, not that I would like to have seen it. I don't want this guy to be a bad guy. I want him to find redemption, but maybe he still will. But if this is how the story had to go, I would almost want to see the issue or the few issues before to see hints of him starting to go bad. But I'll accept it. It fits within the story. It feels a little forced to me, but that's how it works. That's fine. It makes sense. It's not unbelievable. But basically what he's saying that is a little believable is he's saying that being in prison here, it's given me time to think, and it's not given me time to think about, I haven't been thinking about how what I did was wrong. I've been thinking about how all these other horrible people who are in prison here with me, those are the types of people we're allowing to escape and go back and kill people. Those are the people who are in here like me, not necessarily me. I don't know if he wants to kill himself. Maybe he does. But those are the people, they shouldn't be here. They should be dead. And that makes sense, I guess. I don't agree with him, but it makes sense if he's been exposed to all these bad people. Um, that might give him a little bit of a perspective. As wrong or as right as he might be, I think he's wrong. I think we're going to see in the story how that works out. But you got some arguing here how murder isn't justice. Hal says something about there's a saying on Earth, an eye for an eye. Where I come from, we rejected it a long time ago. I don't know what I think about this. To me, and someone can correct me on this, but an eye for an eye is justice. The problem with justice is that you cannot exact it for yourself, because then it's vengeance. You can't trust yourself if everyone just said, this person hurt me, I'm going to hurt him back equally. That's not due process, that's a recipe for chaos. So eye for an eye is justice, but it needs to be enacted by, there needs to be due process, there needs to be an unbiased third party, there needs to be a judge. You don't get to be your own judge because you're going to be a biased judge. And then on top of that, an eye for an eye is justice, but, and we need to enforce justice to an extent, or we don't have a society. We don't have a moral society anyway, but there's also grace and there's also mercy. The secret is not to try to get what you deserve. Maybe the secret is try to deserve what you want to get, but don't try to get what you deserve, because we all deserve bad things for the bad things we do. So we don't look for justice. We look for grace and mercy for ourselves. And in order to receive grace and mercy, we give that to other people. That's what I think. The law, there is a little room for grace and mercy in the law as well, but I mean, you also can't just let killers go free. But you can't go killing killers yourself either, because then you're just a vigilante, the worst kind of vigilante. You become a murderer too. Even if you're murdering bad people, you are not allowing them due process. You're a biased judge. You're an executioner without any authority, and you need to have the authority with the justice. That's just my thought. I'm just rambling here. We're going back to oh man, I didn't notice this. This is beautiful storytelling. So as he is talking, look at that pride in his face. Good job, Ethan Van Sciver. Not that you need my compliments, but you've got these. What are these? Are these the enforcers? I think they're called the enforcers. You got shots of him as he is talking about enforcing his form of justice. We're cutting to the enforcers. Here are the enforcers. He's talking about it. He says, I did a bad thing to make the world a little better, and I don't think that's how the world works. Two wrongs don't make a right. You can't do it that way. There does have to be justice. But again, it has to. This is not justice. But everything he's saying, we're given a hint, has something to do with these guys. We cut back to the controllers. These are the controllers. These are the enforcers. These are the controllers. I think that's how it goes. So these guys are talking. Their plan's going well. But something's wrong. Oh no. And we were getting a hint of it here. He walks out here. It's impossible. He says it cannot be. It's this guy. These guys aren't supposed to be activated yet, but he is. Oh, they're the Dark Stars. I'm sorry. They're not the enforcers. They're the Dark Stars. He's looking for a volunteer. It's almost like these guys are, they're lantern rings, but they're not. They're made by the enforcers. Controllers. These are the controllers. They're made by the controllers, and they're not worn on the finger, but they're seeking out hosts similar to what a ring would do. So these guys are not supposed to be activated. He doesn't like it. This isn't a part of plan. He tells it to go deactivate himself, and he says he doesn't want to comply. He says it requires your compliance. So he needs this guy's help for something. He needs this guy. in order to do what he's going to do. And he says, but I need your help, but I don't need your permission. And he zaps him. I don't think he kills this guy because he says he needs him. I don't know. We'll see what happens later in the next issue probably. But we're going to see what he does. He zaps that guy, and then he comes over here to, he flies over here, and he finds he's attracted to Tomar too. He breaks into Tomar 2's cell. Hal doesn't like it. And he says, do you wish to enforce lethal justice with the Dark Stars? And that is in sync 100% with this guy. That is exactly what he wants. And that's really, really cool. All of this is cool. It's so easy to get caught in the story that you don't even notice the art. And until it does something fantastic like the just the armor coming together. I like that. Hal's just trying to figure out what's going on. It adapts to his physiology, it says, so that probably hurts a little bit. It's changing. If you think these Dark Stars were meant to seek out hosts, they have to actually be able to fit the host, which if you think about it, that's more amazing than a ring adapting to the size of a finger. You think was Kilowog's ring made differently from Hal Jordan's ring? Kilowog's got these big old hands. And probably not. They probably adapt, but oh my goodness. This armor, the adaptation process required must be so much more. And he wipes out Tomar too. This teleportation powers, apparently. Oh. Hal says, we can make this right. Surrender. Don't try to escape. We can make this right. And he says, I am right. And of course he's not, but he thinks he is. And that's the sad part. This whole issue is sad as regards Tomar 2, in my opinion. But it's very poetic. It's sadly poetic. And he says, Hal, you're right. We're not special. We are who we choose to be. And this is what I choose. And that's heartbreaking. And hopefully he can come back from that. But in the meantime, we got Bendis, advertised Action Comics. Hal goes to John, and he says, I'm blanking on his name. I know his name. John Stewart. He says, we've got some new enemies. I don't know. They're called the Dark Stars. That's all I know. So maybe these guys maybe the Green Lanterns haven't met the Dark Stars before? I don't know. Oh, no. He says they both know the word Dark Stars. These are just not like the Dark Stars you've seen before. Okay, that matches up with everything. We've got that guy. We've got the Doomsday Clock. You guys can all make fun of my ignorance here with some of this. I'm not as much of a... I'm working on my knowledge. This is just my thoughts on stuff. Look at these. I don't know what I think about these figures. That's kind of crazy. It's got socks and shoes, soccer socks. I do like the black and white. What I want is a figure like this, a really artistic figure, maybe not exactly like this, but I want a black and white figure, or maybe just a white figure that you can color with like a marker, but then you can erase it, so you can like draw on the figure and color it however you want it. I don't know, maybe not. I think it'd be kind of cool though. I don't know. That's not Batman. That's a nice little... The socks and shoes, that's not Batman. But, it's a cool little Batman knockoff thing. It's kind of nice, stylish. I do like Harley Quinn. That looks more like a Harley. That's more Harley than this is Batman. You can only change... You can't give Batman tennis shoes. You can give Harley tennis shoes, I think. You got the Joker. I do like the stylization of this. Why am I talking about this? I'm not trying to review figures. But those are cool. I like the stylization. I almost wonder if they're trying to sell tennis shoes. Like everyone's wearing tennis shoes. And more collectibles. And that's about it. So, if anyone sees this video, let me know what you think. Is this something I should keep doing? Am I just an ignorant dunce and just stick to what I know? Or is there some value in covering some things that maybe I'm not as familiar with and giving my thoughts on it? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you like long videos? I don't. If you don't, uh, yeah. Um, I might have to try making shorter videos. I wonder how possible that is. I might have to learn how to. We are who we choose to be. Just like he said. Where does he say that? He said it multiple times here. That's the poetic part. Is they're teaching you something here in this book, and they keep saying it, but in creative different ways, and it just keeps on hammering it home. But we are who we choose to be, and so I choose to be rambling and long-winded. Maybe, I don't know. I think to some extent we are who we are. To some extent we are who we choose to be. There's an intersection between those things. Definitely morally we are who we choose to be. Otherwise, if there's no choice, then there's no morality. There's no how can you punish someone for doing something that he didn't have a choice whether he did or didn't do. I don't think making long videos is a moral choice. And rambling is apparently in my DNA because I'm doing it now. But let me know what you think. Think issue number 42. Answer to the universe, the universe, and everything. The answer and the question aren't supposed to coexist within the same reality, from what I understand of Douglas Adams, which is what a part plays into that whole nihilistic kind of tone of his work. But I think we might have found it here. The answer to life, the universe, and everything is that you are who you choose to be. That becoming a part of something, that wearing a mask, that wearing a suit, doesn't make you special. But that it's the special people who choose to do those things. And they still have choices to make. Again, you are who you choose to be. I'll leave you guys with that. Think about it. Let me know what you think. Leave comments. Hopefully I'm not too embarrassed of this video to upload it, but I'll see you guys next time, and we'll cover I want to cover some more Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IDW. I've got Robotanimals IDW. I don't want to make this all about IDW and fatigue everyone on IDW, but I do want to cover those things. Maybe Robotanimals first, because if I cover Batman, then I mean, what really is there left to say after you've covered Batman? But I've got Batman Beyond. Maybe I'll cover that one. Teen Titans. Maybe I'll cover that one. Give you guys my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think about this. Anything I should be reading that I'm not. I better stop talking. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Talk to you guys later. Bye.